working on.
All right, good evening. I am going to call the Hartland.
Sorry, I'm here.
10 board meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. And this is our reorganization meeting, so I'm going to start us off and then pass off the meeting to whoever becomes the chairperson of the board. So, I'm sorry, I skipped over introductions. We have a new board member. We will be introducing ourselves. Do you feel like you're ready to introduce yourselves to our public?
And there's someone online.
Yeah, let's
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Questioning it, we should.
All right.
So Hannah Ben-Simone, school board member.
Oh, Heather Veneta, also school board member.
Beth Swartz, school board member.
Ryan Peznowski, newly elected.
Oh, newly elected.
To his 5-year term.
Right.
For his 5-year term.
Somebody, when I reached out to him, I said my name is forever going to be Ryan Write-In Peznowski. Yeah.
Also Tony Vendetti for the win, because apparently the way she spelled it out for people. Pez, like the candy.
Yeah.
I
Last
totally,
name Ski. She was going to send out a whole email. I said, no, I'm not going to.
Oh, that's
My mom was like, that was really helpful for me.
I just told everyone just like go Ryan Pens and then put a ski at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. School board member.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start by taking nominations for the election of a chairperson for the Hartland School Board. And so do we have a nomination?
Before anybody does the Spider-Man, not me, I personally don't want to, but I think that given the last budget meeting that we had, and the last budget informational meeting we had, that Hannah spoke very well as for herself as well as the board, and I think she'd make a great chair. Not me.
But notice all right.
Yeah, not me.
So Ryan has nominated. We need a second.
I would second that.
Beth will second that, and then Hannah, do you accept the nomination?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? I have to say that. No. Okay. Any discussion?
Thank you.
I think Hannah would make an exceptional chair.
We're just like, Hannah finally got a nanny, so if Hannah didn't get a nanny, then this might have been a different situation.
All right then. So we're going, since we're all in person, we can just vote together. All in favor of Hannah as the chair of our board, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, Hannah, you're on.
Robert's Rules of Order.
Yep, you get to take over now.
Okay, so I will now take nominations for the vice chairperson.
May I speak? I also don't want this. I think that Heather, given her seniority on the board,
I am the oldest standing.
and yeah, I think she'd make an exceptional vice chair.
I second.
That's all right. Do you accept the nomination?
Sure.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. And now a nomination for the clerk of the board.
Beth,
What does the clerk do?
Nothing.
you're the new person. I had to be clerk for the last
Yeah.
2 years, so.
You have to take
I-
minutes at the retreat.
It tends
Okay.
to be the sort of most
Full-time.
recent addition.
That's
because
fine.
it
I'm not
is-
like taking minutes at every single meeting.
No.
There's AI and
I nominate Beth to be the clerk of the board.
I second.
Do you accept the nomination?
with pleasure.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. And now nomination of the signer of the manifest.
I would like to nominate Ryan for this position because I believe he looks closest to something.
Yes, I second the nomination for Ryan as signer of manifest.
All right, do you accept?
Sure. Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All
Great
those
job.
opposed? Okay. Then, nomination. Oh, good. Oh, incredible. Here's the seat.
Right.
Nomination of representatives to the SU Bargaining Council.
I nominate Heather to that
Great.
position of
Heather's very good.
representative to the SU bargaining council.
I will happily accept that nomination.
And I will second
You are
that
a
first.
martyr among.
You know, it
You find it rewarding.
is, and it's also, it's hard, and it's not like the funnest thing, but you know what, at the end of the day, it's what needs to happen.
Yep.
And
Well, we're grateful. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And then nomination of representatives to the SU board. So I think that
You have to be.
I have to be, and then do there have to be 3? Okay, so we need 2 more.
And you don't, I mean, it's great if you can attend the meetings. A lot of SU board members sign on remotely.
Mhm.
I'm one of those who
Yeah.
does, but,
And you can miss sometimes.
yeah.
I will.
Do we do
Okay.
it one at a time to do them or
I
all
think we
3?
can, so this is the default that I am, so I don't think it needs to be voted
No.
on. So I will nominate Ryan Pesanowski and Heather Veneta.
Wait. Unless, Bethany, do you want to do this? Because I mean, I had a great time, but I am more than happy to
Because
It's
you
Monday
don't
next
have to
week.
do it if you're also doing the bargaining.
It just turns out that like, especially this time of year, when we start bargaining, because it's a bargaining year next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Like,
that's a
I'm
whole
gonna be
separate set of
in
meetings.
80 million meetings, and so if you would rather do it,
I'm not like jumping for it, but I would do it,
okay,
especially if I can be signing on remotely.
Yeah, remotely.
yes,
You can.
okay,
All right.
she's in.
In that case, I will nominate Ryan Pesanowski and Beth Ann Schwartz to be representatives to the SU board. Any discussion? All those in favor?
That'd be second.
Aye.
Oh, yes,
Second,
let's do second.
second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Oh, and now a truancy officer.
do we have someone?
We do. We typically nominate the
Principal?
school resource officer.
Okay,
Call that row, and I think you say school resource officer,
okay.
that's fine.
So I guess this would not be a nomination, this would be sort of a motion to designate.
I make a motion to designate the SRO as our truancy officer.
I will second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, and then the designation of the official newspaper, so we have been using Valley News and the Vermont Standard. There was discussion at time of whether or not we wanted to use any other of the sort of more online, but I think, yeah, like the Digger or 7 Days, but I think in general we have felt like
Amount
keeping
of
it sort of
times, I'm so far out,
local.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is basically where we would need to, this is where we need to warn any meetings.
Post it, yeah.
Anything we post would
Press release,
go there.
they cover
Does
this area.
listserv get looped into this yet? Because it's not because it's a newspaper, but like, okay. I didn't know.
No. I'm sort of comfortable, honestly, keeping these 2. It just, I feel like in some ways decreases the cloud of spread, and obviously part of what those other news outlets are doing is reporting on. So
The
if
other
there's,
things that are coming from those 2 places
Yeah.
anyway.
so I feel comfortable, and I would take a motion to designate those Valley News and Vermont Standard. I will make said motion.
I second said motion
Okay.
for Valley News and Vermont Standard to be the official newspaper
Okay,
of the Hartland School.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, we do yearly just revisit our time, place, and date of the monthly meeting. It seems like 6 o'clock has worked well on this Tuesday.
Anybody want to go 6:30? Every year I try to.
You do.
I do. It's okay.
I go
I-
5:30.
Oh, and dude, can't even.
Not this Tuesday, the first Tuesday, right?
Not the first Tuesday of every month.
It was the second Tuesday.
This is the second Tuesday, right? So the first Tuesday of every month here at the school library at 6 p.m.
Do we like the first Tuesday? I mean, is there like, does it
The
matter?
SU board is which Monday?
the last.
SU
Last
board is the
Monday?
last Monday.
So that's why, so you end up with
So
like
it's
the
2
last and then
weeks.
2 weeks in a row of meetings away.
Yeah, although so frequently then if we have an extra meeting mid-month, it sort of is, but I think it's fine.
The first Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll make that motion for continuation of first Tuesday of the month at 6 PM meeting in the school library.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, and then the final piece is just to agree that we will use the sort of amended Roberts rules, which basically allows for,
It just allows for,
we don't have to do, we do roll calls for virtual, but otherwise,
do roll calls for virtual, you can say, okay, let's see. To adjourn, you can say, I move to adjourn. A second is needed, wait, I don't know, wait a minute, that's simplified, that's not Robert's rules for small boards. There's like, I'll send you some
Okay.
information, Hannah.
okay,
It's like, you don't have to second things in Robert's rules for small boards, you can just make the motion and then
vote,
consent,
Okay.
it's called consent to voting, I believe.
okay.
Yeah.
If people want more time to read about that, and we could table it, or we could make a motion now to approve that.
I'm fine with Robert's rules
Okay.
for small boards.
And I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Great, all those opposed?
Whether we don't even know if we need to
All
say
right,
aye, actually.
great, we did it. Any changes or additions to this week's agenda? And if not, we'll go on to approve the minutes from February 3rd. And I think we were all there. What was our final? Let's see right here. I think we were all there, and it was just our pre-information meeting, right? So we just sort of reviewed. Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve those minutes.
I motion to approve the minutes for February 3rd, 2026.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Public participation.
And announcement.
I'm using my left hand this time instead of my right.
Is that foreshadowing what's to come or no?
I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
First question, at the last meeting, you spoke about the new playground equipment. Can I get how much it was, how much the grant paid, and how much we had to pay?
Yep.
Please.
I'm quite sure we can get you that information. It was all sort of overseen by,
How much?
How much the playground equipment was,
Okay.
how much the grant was, and how much we paid, and where it came from, where that money came from.
Yeah. did we, I'm just trying to remember if there was a very small amount taken out of capital reserve.
There was
That was-
It wasn't voted on, if it came out of capital
There was a
reserve, it
grant.
wasn't voted on.
There was a $25,000 grant that was repurposed, I believe.
Was something that we did have to vote on to take down
We did.
that was,
That
I do
came from
remember we had a
capital,
vote
that came from
about that.
capital reserve.
10,000, I think.
That
But
came
that had
from
to
the
go
year.
to the voters,
Yep,
right?
and we did. That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think any
I can
money,
find out for you.
I
But
think
I
the
don't
grant
think-
covered the entirety
I
of
think
the.
that otherwise the grant and then community service, so we had a lot of volunteers come to help build
Oh,
it.
okay,
So
It
no
was like a
money.
volunteer day, yeah,
We
there was
didn't
no
pay a
money
cent.
from the budget.
all right.
And I think our maintenance staff took it down and it didn't cost $10,000, but I'll find out
Right.
for sure.
Thank you. Question 2, special ed. Special ed is at the WESU level, is that correct?
It is.
Is there a way to bring it back in-house?
It's by law at the SU. Sorry.
Because I think it'd be cheaper if we could bring it back in-house. So, and hear me out, and this is my reasoning. Bring it back in-house. So you have a year that somebody leaves, so it frees up 150,000. You still budget the 150, but you put it in the reserve fund. Somebody moves in 2 years later, you need that 150 or 75, you take it out. Now it doesn't cost the taxpayers any money because you're ready for it.
You
Yeah,
can't
you
use
can't.
though capital reserve for anything.
So you
other
make
than-
up a fund,
You make
right,
a
so you
fund.
make up
Yeah.
a fund.
You
But
That's-
can't,
it's by law, it has to be at the SU level. It's by Vermont statute.
All right, I'll reach out.
So does curriculum. special ed curriculum, business office, I believe, there's a number of them.
All right, Chuck,
And
but-
some of the movement
No,
in Act
that's fine. I appreciate
73
that.
is to take those activities at the SU level and further consolidate them, right? So not necessarily, like the proposal, the BOCES proposal that was not actually to move kids or school buildings, but to further consolidate those.
It's a shared
Services.
service model.
Yeah.
Yeah, so potentially, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a great question.
Thank you. And my last one is school choice. Do you folks know how, say we wanted to change school choice to 3 or 4 schools? Does that have to be voted townwide? Does it go through the SU? Does it have to go through the state and through a series of?
It's here. Yeah, it's the school board as elected by the town members, by the district.
So it doesn't have to go to a public vote?
It doesn't
You
have to go
guys
to
here
public
could
vote.
make a motion and say, hey, we want to pick these 4 schools as
Yeah.
our main high school
Yeah.
choices.
The thing to know is that if we did that, the town, I believe this is correct, because I spent some time reading about this, because I've had the same questions you do. So I'm like really curious, and I've really
super,
tried to
thank you.
understand Vermont statute, and try to understand what this looks like. If we did that, like let's say we said Windsor, Woodstock, Hartford.
Yep.
The tuition I believe that Hartland pays to Woodstock, Hartford, Windsor has to be the same tuition that those 3 schools are charging all of their sending towns. We are not empowered to negotiate a Hartland rate.
Well, we can't anyways.
Correct, we can't,
And I don't
but
care about doing that. What I'm
but-
trying to do is reduce the cost.
I don't, but I think if you do the math, like if you go to that page in that thing,
Mhm.
Hartford's not that much cheaper than Hanover.
$1,000
It's $1,000 cheaper a year than
They're up to
Hanover.
$24,000.
More than that.
So if you take those Hanover kids, they're gonna go to Hartford, presumably a couple go to
Right.
Woodstock, which is
Right.
also not that much cheaper.
Right.
We also now pull all the kids that are going to the schools where we're only paying 17,000, 18,000, 20,000. Those now are we did the math this week. And if we, let's say we said you have to go to Hartford.
Yep.
We would spend more on high school than we're spending now. So the only way to make high school significantly cheaper would be to merge with Windsor. And the caveat there, because I think this came out of the Act 46 work, is that Windsor can't currently accommodate 100% of Hartland kids.
Right.
So the Windsor cost to build and would obviously a lot of
Right. They're not
unknown
gonna do
variables
that.
in
Right, yeah,
that,
they're not gonna
but
do that.
well, they would have to, right? If we sort of
Well-
tried to put all the Heartland kids there,
Because you'd have to then do the Weathersfield kids too.
Well, if it was Hartland and Weathersfield, they'd have to add on, right? Would
Yeah.
probably absorb one of the schools, because as everyone else, we are experiencing declining enrollment in
Mhm.
Windsor, so.
but so that's that I think, and Elizabeth Burrows, you probably saw on the listserv her response,
Yeah.
which, and I'm really grateful that she shows up to the listserv and
Right.
but
yeah.
but it was a little misleading because it sort of implied like if we merge with Windsor, there goes the $3 million that we're spending on high school, which of course is not true.
Right,
It's just not
exactly.
it's a different line in the budget. It's not
Exactly,
tuition,
absolutely,
it's now
right.
high school costs.
Right,
No,
exactly.
I don't know that that's true. If
Well, we
you,
would still have to pay to educate our kids.
if you merged with Windsor and there were enough staffing to accommodate the kids here, it would not cost you any money. Your tuition line would be zeroed out.
Well, no, I know tuition would be zeroed out, but like the SU, like what we're paying into the SU would go up, right? Because you're now paying, I mean, you're still gonna have to pay to educate those kids.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, if you think about West Windsor merged with Windsor,
Uh-huh.
they don't get charged.
Right, because it's the same
It's their
school budget.
it's their district.
It's
It's the
the
same.
same
It's
school
one.
But
it's one
their
budget.
property taxes,
Somebody has to
somebody's
pay.
paying for those kids to go to high school, right?
But you
You're-
already have the teacher on staff.
If you're not hiring more staff, and maybe you would have to hire a couple staff. I don't know. I haven't done the math.
Right.
I can certainly have Larry do it
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
He could bring those numbers quickly, I'm sure. Because it's a question that is coming up in
Mhm.
multiple towns. Your tuition line gets zeroed out. You have more students in the formula to divide into, so your
Mhm.
per pupil costs are reduced, right?
Mhm.
Because you have more kids in that formula. But I can have him bring that next
Mhm.
month if you'd like, what it would cost.
Yeah, I think we need to know that. I mean,
Okay.
because it's certainly it's a question a lot of people are asking.
Now, what would happen would be you would grandfather the students that are out in
Obvious, yeah.
different
yeah,
schools, so
absolutely.
you don't necessarily see the savings for a couple of years.
Right, no, that,
And that
that's
happened
to
in
be
West Windsor
expected.
as well.
Uh-huh.
So, I'll have him bring the numbers for you. And then you can roll it over, think about it.
Yeah, I mean, my, just my thought about this is it would be, this is obviously a really, this is a question that people feel really strongly about on both sides.
Right, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have a very, very hard time just deciding it in this board, even though we are the board that we make a decision.
Yeah.
It is something I would feel very strongly would have to be pretty well discussed, and potentially even I would potentially even motion for some kind of referendum
Yeah,
to really hear from people.
Right, oh, I agree.
Because I think it's hard, because I think there's a lot of young families here with kids who feel like what they're hearing is the stuff that our kids got when they were younger, we're not going to make available. And I think a lot of young families in America feel that way in general about the world, is that it was it sort of the cards are stacked against young families trying to do it now. A lot of policies from the federal down to the local level are being shifted away from supporting families now. So I think it would be, and I think the school choice is very, very representative of that for a lot of families in Hartland.
Absolutely, but as you said, the landscape's changing. The population is shrinking on the school side of the population in the whole state, not just Hartland. The whole state has the same issue. And we gotta figure out something quick, because people can't pay the taxes. The delinquency rate this year went up 100,000 more than last year, and last year went up 100,000 from 2 years ago. So our delinquency rate went up $200,000 in 2 years.
Do you have the impression that people are appropriately seeking income sensitivity in Hartland? Do you think there are people that are
I think
being registered as delinquent when they could have sought income sensitivity?
I think some people are using it, are not doing it because the non-tax rate is so much lower than our current tax rate, homestead tax rate, that they get a bigger break by doing that. I've noticed 5 or 6 tax bills that have come that way, and that's illegal to the Vermont state statute. You're supposed to file your Homestead Act as part of the state statute from the 90s. That was part of the Act 63. But the state has, the problem we have now is the state has lowered that cap. That cap used to be 135.
Yeah,
It's now 115.
Right.
Most households come so close that they might get a $200 break off the tax bill.
Right.
So that really doesn't help them.
Yeah.
That 115 has to go back up. I don't know why they brought it down.
I
So,
think for that exact reason.
Yeah, exactly.
right, so they pay more. So I was looking at someone's tax, talking with someone's tax bill today. Theirs went up $2,000 in 1 year. And it wasn't because they haven't got a tax credit for a few years. But the school portion of it in homestead, more than the non-homestead, has made it so, because their escrow company caught up and said, you gotta go up $200 more a month. And they're like, well, what's going on? And their tax bill went up $2,000 from last year.
Martin, one other thing is that with Act 73,
Mhm.
we don't know what that's even gonna look like with school choice and how things are gonna go. So there's a part of me that, is happy to pursue this idea of let's check out all the school choice. But when the legislature comes through, none of us know what this is gonna look like. So there could be a demand, there could be there's no more school choice. Our cards might already be played for us.
Right, I
So
agree.
there's a part of me that's should we sit and wait for a year before we really dig into this so we can see what Act 73 is going to look like? Or should we pursue, looking, because I also feel because we don't know what the state is going to do. And if we're yes, let's join in, with with the Windsor district, what if that later on causes bigger problems down the road that we haven't foreseen?
Right, because your point is, Heather, that if we make that decision, then we might lose the opportunity to be part of some other regional high school that gets formed.
Exactly. And I don't even know.
But you can rechange it
Um,
at
Well,
that
if
point.
you-
We might not.
yeah, once you're
Once
merged, then
you're in, you're
merged.
in.
Well, you can always change it,
Okay.
as a
Yeah.
with a vote
Yeah.
of people, but,
Exactly.
I mean,
But Act 73 is 2 years before it even
Maybe,
takes.
yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Takes
finding the numbers,
solid
it's
book.
not gonna change anything for next year.
Yeah,
The
Right.
budget is set. and-
But at least we can start the conversation, we can start, setting some things in place so that people can see that you're proactively looking out for what's going on, because the state, yes, the state's gonna get there, but you start talking 3 years before the state comes to that, at the minimum,
Or more, right?
or more, right, as
Or
slow as they
ever.
work.
Or effort.
Or if
People,
ever.
people in this town are getting squeezed, as everybody knows.
Yep.
Between gasoline, between groceries, they got taxes, they're going up. And I'm not blaming you guys. You guys do a fantastic job, so please. I'm just trying to figure out how,
Mhm.
as a whole, kids can get what they need, but at the same time, parents aren't
Mhm.
squeezed so bad that they can't give the kids what they need.
And you would have a community vote. You would. The board,
Right.
Yeah.
But because
The
by
four of us
Vermont
in it.
statute, that's what it says, right? Is that it's the board?
I can look that up.
Okay, but I'm glad to know that that's the, because my feeling was like, well, we would never do that without
I think
having
you
a town,
would-
like a
you would-
district vote.
You would at least have community forums to
Yeah,
discuss
yeah.
it.
Right.
I'll look that up in as well.
It looks like when you go to the Vermont statute
Yeah.
that it says the board at the discretion of the district voters or something to that effect. But you're right, that could mean that first there's a vote and then that vote is used to
Yeah.
inform a motion or
Yeah.
whatever.
Great questions.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, any other participation out there online? If not, then we will turn to the administrative report.
When you're ready. And before I pull it up, I want to thank the Hartland community for passing the budget. It was difficult, obviously, and we're very appreciative that it passed. And I know it is challenging for some people to keep up with their tax bills. So just wanted to say that before we begin. And the board did a great job keeping it as low as possible, which was helpful. All right, Frank,
Yes.
you are up first. Ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you. All right, folks. First, I just want to echo what Christine said, and I'd just like to thank the Hartland community. We sent out a little thank you as a small token. We appreciate the support and everything that goes into building a budget and passing it, and ultimately it supports our kiddos, our faculty, and staff. So thank you, everybody. I don't have a tremendous amount, given we were working on the budget for the past month, but I'm going to highlight a couple of things. One is just our awareness celebration that we continue to do. It's National Nutrition Month, and as in the past, kids get to submit a work of art, writing, what have you, that we display around. So just nice to recognize the things that we're doing and celebrating. So next, please. National Nutrition Month. So as everyone knows, again, just a little shout out to Ian in the cafeteria and the food they continue to put out, and the fresh vegetables and fruits that are available to our students. And as we've talked about, it's just nice to see kids continuously having the ability to get some fresh fruit and vegetables and the nutrition that they need. So good way to celebrate that. Next. It's also Women's History Month. So we just want to touch on that for students, again, having the ability to recognize that and celebrate that. Was worth mentioning. Next.
Giggles.
It's right. I wanted to highlight this because this busing students and one of those unstructured times, meaning that we don't always have adults on a bus, gets to be a little tricky for all involved. And this was something that was put forth. It was a presentation to Michael and myself. I want to thank Heather Pogue and Jamie Bernstein and Tracy Price, who helped orchestrate this with some of our students. This came from students. This was their sort of answer to support of what are things that we can do to make this safe for all students. And I highlight it because they recognized we did not go to them and say, hey, can you come up with something? They met asked us to join and said, these are things that we're thinking about that allows for safety and support for all students. So I just think a shout out to that group of students to say, hey, we recognize a problem and here's a solution. And so we're going to implement that, and we're going to bring that up to students. This happened just before the break. So again, worth highlighting. That's something that they did.
Can I ask some questions about that?
You sure can.
So there's going to be a seating chart for every child on every bus route.
Yeah,
Are they
the
going to have any
idea.
say?
Excuse me?
Will the children have any say in like the person they would like to sit with? I'm thinking of my own child who's
Yeah, no, I get that. I think what we're going to take a look at is see who we have on the bus, and see age groups, what students, siblings, that type of thing. Talk with the bus drivers because they know those kids better than we will in regards to where they have been sitting, and then try to go through it that way methodically so that it's supportive for everybody. So I would say.
Will you keep,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. Will you keep families in the loop? Will you communicate
Yep, we're
that?
going to send this out. Yep, and say that we have a seating chart. Obviously, we can't give out other names of kids, but we'll say, hey, please speak with your kiddo or child that we're going to have this seating chart. They're going to be paired up, or depending on how many kids on the bus. Again, some do ride individually. Some have 2 to a seat. So again, kind of revamping, taking a look. We will obviously let families know, but I kind of wanted to introduce it here to say this is something that kids brought and that we're going to be moving forward. So yeah, it'll involve everybody, and we'll let families know. Again, I got to speak with the bus drivers and get a better understanding. Michael does ride the bus. So Mr. Schaefer has ridden several buses, and we're each going to take a turn to ride the buses also to get a better understanding of kind of what's happening and where people are so that we're better plan, I guess, moving forward, if you will.
Can I jump in for a second? Sometimes the seating is by age. Like kindergarten and first grade sits in these first couple of seats, and second and third grade might sit in the next couple. So sometimes it doesn't need to go it hasn't gone as far as having an actual seat, but it is by age span a little bit, which helps to cut down.
Yeah, that sounds less scary to a 6-year-old than being told they're just going to be put in a seat with someone.
Yeah, and again, this is how it was presented to us. So we're not saying all of this is happening right now. This is what we need to bring to the conversation with the bus drivers.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Highlighting the Heart Awards that we have, and again, some of you were there, so it's always nice to see you folks. Appreciate the celebration and the support. Just wanted to highlight that. And I think from there,
Yeah.
I think I picked back up, Christine.
You'll pick back up after with the data
Yes.
report. All right, so a few things from me. I always want to start with our goals that we're working on regularly through our strategic plan, our student success and engagement, and I'm in the schools as much as I can be, at least once a week in each school for a period of time, and I get to go into classrooms and visit and see what's going on, and I'm just always impressed with the level of engagement in Hartland. The kids, the teachers do an incredible job making the lessons exciting and interesting, and give students as much voice and choice as they can. So there's Anna Brooks and somebody's little boy.
Is it yours?
Yeah. Yes, and when I was in first grade, Anna and Shannon, the 2 first grade teachers, Miss Brooks and Miss Kramer, they collaborate a lot, and they do literacy stations and math stations. So there were kids doing different things in the room. Then Miss Skilling is running a kindergarten circle, and she has the kids participating. And then I know you all know about the Winter Carnival last month, but I don't think I saw you until since before it, and it was just an incredible opportunity for kids to do some really kind of fun outdoor activities together, and some of them are planned by the kids, and it's just a great community event. So,
Yep.
kudos to
Christine,
Frank
can I
for
ask
that. Yeah, of course.
one of the things I want to highlight, Tina Skehan was sort of the drive behind this with our leader and me, but a lot of our students came up with the activities and worked with the younger grades that we had. So we had cardboard bobsled and other activities, snowshoeing. And that was really the push behind that, was the students coming up with ideas and then working with the younger grades to make that happen. And so, as Christine said, it was a highlight. It was one of the best days so far that I've been associated with at Hartland. And I would also say the fall festival, when we do things like this and truly see student engagement. I appreciate you mentioning that, Christine. It was wonderful.
Yeah. And Tina's been great. One of the goals in this school is to really use that buddy classroom model, older kids, younger kids working together. And it's awesome to see.
Her and Abby have been wonderful.
Yeah. The next thing I want to just highlight, we had a professional development day, March 2nd, and this was planned by jointly with our curriculum director and our diversity and equity and inclusion director. And there were 3 tracks staff could select to participate in. One track was here at Hartland, and that was EQS, which is Education Quality Standards and Culturally Responsive Teaching. We brought in Clemens Family Farm, and people participated in looking at curriculum that can help enhance the curriculum we already have and make it more culturally relevant and diverse. Was very successful. One track was on universal design for learning, neuro-inclusive work, and that was facilitated by Hannah Marcos from Vermont Higher Education Collaborative. And that was a pretty great workshop. I got to attend the afternoon part where they were actually practicing strategies for UDL practices, which was pretty exciting. And the third strand was reflective restorative practices, which has been primarily worked at the high school this year. And a group of students at the high school have surveyed the students in the high school and staff, and they brought the data to the full staff to share and to examine, which was pretty powerful. And staff were receptive to what they heard students saying about the student experience. And then the rest of the day was on restorative practices. So that was the day after the break, where you all still had your children at home, and we were at work doing actual
That plus one, that bonus day.
Bonus day. I really wanted that bonus day too.
What we were up to while you were home.
Bonus day.
Just federal updates. I know we've been really worried about federal funding, but this came down the pike that it looks like our funding's going to be okay for next year. Title I, IDEA grants, and other programs are level funded. So that's really a great piece of news for us.
Yeah.
We do fund positions through our title and IDEA grants. So legislative updates. We talked a little bit about Act 73. I want you to know that I have heard that crossover is in a week. There is no bill from Act 73 coming out of House Ed, and they really are having a hard time. The conversation has been about maps, and there's a lot of deliberation, disagreement in what those maps should look like. So I've been informed I should pay attention to Senate Ed, because there's talk of the same in that department as well. So your guess is as good as mine, but I don't think it. I think not coming out of House Ed with a bill is telling that people can't.
And if there's no, okay, it's all hypothetical.
A couple other.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Legislative updates. H 152.
Oh, good, we're gonna end it.
Ends
That's so
CCBs. H 640 requires school district boards to include voting student members from grades 9-12. I don't know, that one I think is going to be on the back burner. And then there's one relating to artificial dyes in foods and beverages. I learned about one yesterday, which is about teacher contracts, which is getting some traction. So right now we hire the teachers under contract once they're hired. And this bill would allow them to basically be let out of their contract, the day before school starts, which is pretty detrimental to
It's a great idea.
education kids. So keeping an eye on that one.
Oh, wait, I thought that was about the artificial dyes.
No, that's
Wait,
another one.
can I, Frank, is Emily still part of our?
Yes, Emily is.
Okay.
I spoke with her today. She could not make it, but she
Okay.
plans on attending moving
I
forward.
just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
She's also volunteered at the SU board level. A board member brought, there's a new HHB policy, there's some revisions to the policy and some procedures that there's been a group that's been meeting for a while, and they've come up with recommendations to the procedures. And one of the board members asked if we could form a board subcommittee with students to look at those and see if we can change our procedures before, instead of waiting for, probably 2 years before they actually get changed. So Emily volunteered to be
That's
part
awesome.
of that.
Way to go,
subcommittee,
Emily.
yeah, which is great. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the winter data report. So I'm going to turn it back over to Frank and get the right tab here. Okay. Frank, I am your driver.
All right.
You ready? All right.
Winter 2026.
Yeah.
First off, K-3 Dibbles. So taking a look at what that data, there we go. You can see your slight increase. And this is looking at it from 2025-26, right? Side-by-side comparison, beginning of the year, middle of the year. So
You want the green to get larger and the red to get smaller.
It did.
that's it.
Yay!
By a pretty
We
good.
should just add some like animation sounds to instruct the crowd.
Applause.
Well, right.
It's good. It got better.
26.
It's beginning of year, middle of year.
Okay, got it.
Beginning of year
Thank
only
you.
39.
39 and now,
and now
47.
47.
Great.
Nice.
We want green. We want green to be moving to the right. Red to the
Moving
left.
in the right direction there.
All right. Now under star reading, starting, this is overall school-wide. So we're about 4 points off there. And you'll see as the next few slides sort of where that slide has come from and some of the things that we've talked about moving forward. So that's an overall look. All right. So 3 to 5, and you can see that dip. One of the things that we've talked about at the district level is this is not just a Hartland sort of move. We noticed this district wide. So we're going to spend, as we move forward, the end of the year, summer, to kind of talk about how we're going to address and what we're going to look at for our 3 to 5 students and all the work being done.
Frank, can I add in something as someone who deals with STAR all the time? We always see from fall to winter, it always goes the other way. And we always try to say, like, what did we do? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And really, at the end of the day, nobody has any answers because then by the time spring comes along, then everything's back up past where fall was. I
Yes.
just think there's something about doing it in the middle of January that somehow just sends everybody
Yeah.
off the
Are
rockers.
the
usually.
expectations higher in middle
Yes.
of year?
They are.
Okay. So
They
it's
are.
like the
Yeah.
milestone.
Yeah.
So even
Okay.
if you had the same score, kids are making progress. Okay. But I mean, we've talked about, we really work on skills.
Yeah.
Until about third grade.
Yeah.
And then we stop. Third grade, you learn reading to learn, and then I'm sorry, learning to read and then reading to learn. And
Right.
we have found that we have kids in these grade spans that still need real skill work for reading.
Do you guys look at this data in other ways? I'm sure you do,
Oh, yeah.
and so I'm just curious. Like, do you see is it a normative curve that we're talking about? Is it bimodal? Like how, it just, I realize at the end of the day, this is what people want to know. How many kids pass the finish mark? But like when you look at the detail of the data, is it easy to see that like there's a bunch of kids really close? Or is it that like there's a lot
Yes.
of kids over here and a lot of kids down here and that we're
Yep, and you can break it down by skill. You can deep dive that. group kids for you, these kids need
So
these skills.
so it does kind of look like a normative curve with like a lot of people clustered in the
In the
center,
center?
on this side of
I
the.
don't think we see it that way.
You don't see it that way. Okay.
I was wondering that exact thing. I was
Okay.
gonna ask, like, I almost want a scatter plot.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I
Yes.
want.
Like,
Like,
is that
'cause-
possible? Is it possible to pull by
Yes.
grade?
Oh, we
And
pull
like
it
get
by
us like,
grade.
like, can we see that? Can we see a larger
You can see it by
picture of the
grade.
data
Um,
and in different forms?
I will talk to Bridget about that. She helps put these data reports together.
It's just fascinating to me. Like, for me, I'd rather get into the minutia rather than just see, okay, how many are meeting. I do want to know where are the outliers and all of that as well.
and not because, I mean, you know, just to say, like, our job is not curriculum or teaching.
Right.
So,
But just
but just more in thinking about how do we talk about this as a community, because it, you know, we are part of the community and then also sort of representatives of the school to the, you know, so it's just interesting to look at the data and wondering if there's ways to see this data that tells a different story on behalf of the school knowing, but
Yes.
well said.
hard for you because you straddle. Like I'm like, I don't know how you teach people anything. I mean, I don't know the Krebs cycle, but like not that, you know, teach you reading EKG, but.
Well,
Alright,
I think if I could just point out, I think the data you're talking about is extremely important when we talk about a robust summer program, because we want to get down into the weeds so that when we are working on our summer program, we know where to concentrate our efforts. We know what grade level, what skill, right? Those that are approaching, those that need what work. And so that information is extremely important and stuff that we would use to drive instruction and support for the summer program. So absolutely, we'll get that. Taking a look at reading 6 to 8. Again, the numbers in green moving to the right, red to the left. A few percentage points there. Excellent. Thank you. This is, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we leave that one up for a little bit?
Yeah. Again, you need the applause animation on this to make sure we.
So
Right.
just to highlight again, and you're going to see as we can keep going through where that green is moving, and I want to continue that momentum, right? And that's the idea behind. And while we're getting closer to what our goals may be, I want to keep strengthening and reiterating that having a math interventionist is going to continue to move that. And so I'm excited about having that, building on that. Working with our awesome math team and moving that in the right direction. So,
Okay, you ready for 3-5?
yes, please. Again,
Decent jump. 3-5.
Yep.
And then middle.
and then
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's great.
That's great.
Yep.
60% proficient in math is pretty great.
Great. Yeah.
All right, that's star. Here you go, Frank, by demographic.
just taking a look at demographics, and this obviously speaks for itself, so we can just kind of give it a 10-second or 15. I'll be happy to answer anything I could, but I'm not sure what information I have.
This is free and reduced.
It's free and reduced.
Actually, you know what I'd love to see about this is like there's this like not wildly different, and I think that's like such a testament to this school, right? That it's that we're taking kids from a lot of different backgrounds and resources and opportunities, and they're getting educated in really equitable ways. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Agreed, Hannah. Thank you.
So it's none of us can read it, just to be clear.
Okay,
This isn't
all
some
right.
super hard version. We've just looked at these enough. So this is showing the top and bottom is comparing students with
The left
With
is free and
free and
reduced
reduced.
status,
Yep.
and the right is non-free and reduced. So students that qualify for free lunch or reduced lunch, and on the other side,
and those who don't. So this is capturing some socioeconomic data.
And uppers fall lowers.
Yeah.
That's all reading.
yes, that's reading.
That's
And
reading,
this is the
correct?
same- Yeah, and this is math. The larger gap
Yeah.
between.
Yep, which echoes what we saw earlier.
Okay.
And I think to your point, Hannah, again, like seeing that we're moving in the right direction for all students.
Some work to do here.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
that's what
Yeah.
All right.
There's that neuro-inclusive
Mhm.
session.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, here's your VTCAP data from last year that just came in.
Correct.
Okay.
So
State
Hartland
data
blue and the
of-
state is red, yeah,
Okay.
average.
Way to go, fifth grade. That would have been Ruby's. That's Ruby's grade.
So,
Six,
yeah, so showing growth happening in Heartland in those middle
Blue
elementary.
And six.
Right,
Six
third,
and
fourth still.
Six,
yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's EL.
I mean, it'd be interesting to
Do
see
you have
like
the school
standard
ed?
deviation curves, yeah, right? I mean, just to know like how statistically significant is any of this, because it's 59, 58, like that's the
Yep.
same.
You know how the school as a whole for all this falls based on, because like some grades are doing fairly well and some are below.
VTCAP,
Is that in here?
No, I don't think it is. But
I got this. Let's see.
And this is last year, so the kids that, we just got this data, so super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids are taking VTCAP now,
Uh-huh,
so for this current year.
uh-huh.
There's math. So,
Get Ruby's grade. They're so good. In the fifth grade.
5 and 6 shining, but that's
Yeah.
That's pretty close to state average given.
Yeah, the average of the averages.
yeah, I think so. The other thing to note, for math, Windsor Elementary principal wrote a grant last spring and they purchased Number Corner, which is the math fluency program. Heather's giving me a look.
I don't know much about that one.
I used it when I taught
Okay.
and I liked it. I thought it was pretty beneficial. They're using it at Windsor Elementary. Their math scores are improving pretty dramatically as well in the lower grades. So Bridget, our curriculum director, has amended the title grant and she's moving some title money around so she can purchase it for the other schools. And the teachers really want it, so.
You said that's just for the lower grades, like K to 2?
I think it's key. Yeah. All right, and there's science, it's my phone.
Oh, my God. That's vibration.
She always calls when we're in a meeting.
Yep.
All right,
Science.
there you go, Frank. Science.
Yep. Go
What
science.
grade do they do science at?
Fifth and eighth,
Eighth?
8th and 11th.
Oh, yeah.
So your 8th grade scores are well above the state average
Well above.
This is-
last year's.
So they're really, really great at science.
They're really phenomenal.
We got a
science
bunch of
teacher.
scientists.
They're the
And
great-
their math was really good.
You got it. You got yeah.
Yeah.
Great teaching.
Good test takers.
All right,
We're testing.
Here you go. Next. You ready?
Yes. Just taking a look here, we have Hartland Elementary School attendance, 96% attendance rate. And just looking at the numbers of what tardy excused and tardy unexcused. One of the things I know when I was hired, the conversation about community outreach of getting students to school, communicating with families, and providing support that we can. And so we're continuously doing that. We have an attendance team, as I'm sure people know, and a committee and outreach. I think a 96% attendance rate, definitely worth mentioning and noting, and then kind of just working on that tardy and getting kids. And a lot of that, as people know, right, is not, especially at the lower grades, that's also supporting the families to get kids going and getting them in. So always reaching out to families to see if there's more that we can do to help support them getting their kiddos into school.
Well, Frank, we are piloting a virtual project at our house where we just threaten that you're going to come and get everybody in the car. You don't get your shoes on and get outside now.
Right.
So if you want to offer that strategy for anyone else, it's working super well.
I just have the
for
bus
us.
pick them up because then that's it. You either ride the bus or.
Yeah.
But try the threatening Mr. Romeo is coming.
Yeah.
He probably will. So
It's not about disliking Mr. Romeo. It's about having
Is that fear?
appropriate level of fear of
I
Mr.
don't know.
Romeo.
I don't know if I get fear, Mr. Romeo.
I was asked today, can you please go Romeo my class? And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, can you go in and scare them? I'm like, why is that a thing? Where did that come from? But that's apparently a thing. So I can
I like
understand.
it.
Middle school again, 95%. It's the tardy excuse a little bit higher there, and working on again those numbers and the outreach to families. So, but again, I like the numbers where we are. To me, that speaks to the work being done by faculty and staff, the student engagement, wanting to be in school, the programs that we offer, the buddy teacher, the leader in me, all of those things. Michael Schaefer's leadership group that has our older kids working in classrooms and working around our building and community. All of those things add to that number of seeing, 95 and 96. And so I appreciate everyone's work on that. That's not any one thing, but a community effort of people in our building to get kids in and keep kids engaged in school. This data, looking at this in regards to log entries, and I think what's important just when we look at this, and as you look at it, log entries, if people just need a quick, that is our reporting system for behavior and discipline. So you need something, you'll put in, elementary puts in, right, what we call a log entry. We get alerted to that. And Michael, our SEIs, our MTSS team are part of that, either first responder or the follow-up, so to speak, if you will. It's also important to note that not all log entries will result in a disciplinary action. Sometimes it's data information, it's gathering, it's helping when you have meetings with parents, or even if you're talking MTSS, that multi-tiered system of support, of looking for patterns, looking for when, where, how often, what classroom, that type of thing. So I think it's important to kind of see, and you can look at this data in many different ways and come out with a lot of different information. But overall, every week or at least every 2 weeks, we're running these reports to look for patterns and support for kiddos and for our staff in classrooms. Then we break it down by time. I think we do it by time of day, place, infraction, gender, location. So again, looking for those patterns and being proactive instead of reactive, and trying to isolate and discover times where maybe the SEI or Michael or myself can be, and that's proactive, being in certain areas of the building.
Teachers do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
And administrators can also enter a log if they're.
Someone goes messing up
Yeah.
in class, in first class, they log it in.
Yeah.
Third class, different teacher, she logs it in.
We can see it.
Just for fun, can you see how it matches up with the full moon?
That's a thing.
Oh, for fun and for reals, absolutely. that happens.
I'm really into the data.
Yeah. It's just that
And Ryan, to answer that in a continuous, is that we will see that, and that will trigger certain conversations with students, right, or with teachers, and sometimes, and as we should always be self-reflective, is if we notice something in a classroom, that might be that teacher needs some support, not something individual, right, but there may be something happening in the classroom, and working with teachers in what's the approach, what can we do to help, stuff like that. So it definitely is a multi-tiered system, and it doesn't just get entered and forgotten. It gets followed up on. We have on our end, Michael will continuously go in with our 2 SEIs, and there's a spot for us to show what the admin action was. So might have been just a call home. It might have just been a follow-up meeting. It might have been a conference, a timeout, what have you. So all of that data is tracked from the beginning the time that it's put in to what the admin action and follow-up would be.
Sometimes there is no admin action. It's the teacher has to take an action, and they mark that, so we know that they've handled it. But our rule of thumb is if it's a student and it's a minor behavior that becomes repetitive over time, it becomes a major, and the administrator gets involved to support that student.
Yeah.
I think that's the last slide.
I think it is. And the other thing I also want to say is that it holds everyone accountable, right? So if I'm a teacher that puts this in, I'm waiting to see an admin action or a follow-up. So like everybody else for administration, it holds us accountable to make sure that we are supporting kiddos and it's supporting our teachers when we get these log entries and incident reports.
Are they instant?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Roma can see it
Once it's in, yeah.
once I put it in.
Yeah, and the teacher can tag relevant people that need to see it. So not just Frank, but Michael and an SEI or a specials teacher so that they might know this kid is having a hard day. I don't know if the teachers can stop and look at it all the time, but
Right, no, I get that, right,
Yeah.
but at some point during the day,
Yeah.
somebody in the administration goes in and looks.
oh, the administration, if it's you get an email right away, right? Frank, you get an alert.
You get an email on everyone.
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 The-
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
thank you.
That's not an inbox I want.
And also, just if I could touch on for a second, that'll be something that is reported, right? But if there's something egregious or something in the moment, that's a phone call. So we don't have to wait for something to come in, right? That's data entry, that's data information. But if there's something where, hey, I need some help, that's a phone call, and we'll, respond immediately. And then we may say, hey, put that log entry in. So if it's something serious, I want you to know that that is an immediate response, because we don't always want to sit at our computers, right? But we will answer that phone call and say over the radio through the office, like, hey, can you go to Michael's room? Can you go to Christine's room? That type of thing.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
All right, thanks, team. So I think we're now going to move to items for discussion. So the first is just to debrief on the budget, which I think, again, we're grateful that the budget passed and acknowledge the mandate that comes for the work to be done as we continue to work on budgets for the district. And then next, I believe we have two sabbaticals to discuss.
And I can pull, I have them.
Great.
We pull them up.
Yeah, do you mind? Because actually,
I don't mind.
one of them
Thank
was
you,
hard
everybody.
to open. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
And so I know the person.
Which one would you like first?
We should probably start with Anne's because she was first.
Okay.
Does that make sense? While we're there, we didn't get to mention that Kelly Meacham, not Beecham. She won the Hartland Conservation Award for this, for all of her composting. So I think that should be
And the gardens,
recognized.
I think.
Yes.
The garden plots that she built
Yeah.
for each grade.
So thank you. Yes,
Kelly
thank
Meacham,
you, Kelly, for being awesome and winning awards and everything else.
Kelly is awesome.
Appreciated.
So just to bring us up to speed, so this was a sabbatical request we had the opportunity to discuss at our last meeting in the context of sort of evolving budget dynamics, but sort of too late to integrate this into a budget. We elected to table this discussion for this month's meeting. And I think just if it's okay, just to quickly summarize the perspective I think we all generally shared is this was an amazing proposal for really meaningful work that would cost the district essentially somewhere between the cost of a art sub plus substitute benefits, because it would be a long-term sub for, we think, 3 to 4 months, basically. And we estimated that to be around 30 to 40,000 plus or minus the ongoing 50% salary for
That you can
benefits.
elect to pay or not.
I think benefits are not electable if you look at the,
Yeah.
right, benefits continue regardless. So the question is whether or not it's the salary is
Yeah.
50%.
Yes.
So basically,
Pay in full, pay half, or pay none. Are
Yes.
the options.
yes. And can you remind, so is there anything else I wanted to add from our discussion from last time? Can you remind us where this money comes from? Like now that there's a budget, what line does it come out of?
Comes out of the salary line.
Comes out of the salary line. And if
I
we go over budget because of this,
Then you're running a deficit
Uh-huh.
into your next budget season.
And we just would have to like roll that deficit because you couldn't take it, like, there's not savings that can be made somewhere else.
No, you know, a budget's fluid. You might hire people at a lower rate than somebody that's in your building. Somebody might take a different benefit package, so it's always fluid.
Mhm.
It's, you
And
know,
we did, this year, we did run an overage.
Right, you had a
So,
surplus.
We had a
we
surplus.
did this,
So-
in 2025.
Okay, so if we have a surplus again, that can take the,
You're always a year behind, right?
okay.
Yeah.
But if we have a surplus at some point,
Yes.
that can cover this.
And this would be for the year 26 to, this would be fall of 26.
I think it was fall of
Coming
26.
back in January. I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so
Summer
of
and
course,
fall.
interestingly, one of the things we talked about as a significant benefit of this is the professional development that it affords and the way that it enhances our wellness of our faculty and the exposure for our students. We did sort of mention that the potential challenges that it might lead to a lot of other ones, and it sort of sets a precedent, which is sort of good and bad, right? Because we want all of our teachers to be seeking professional growth and development, and also acknowledge that we can't. We have a lot of long-standing teachers in the building, and if everybody took a sabbatical, and so I think maybe, is it okay if we do also discuss the second sabbatical? Because I think there has to be consistency in what we do, and so it, in my mind, would make sense to make a consistent decision for these two
Yes.
now, and hope that that can serve as a precedent.
I agree.
Okay.
Let me pull up the other one. Bigger.
Are they planning the sabbatical in the same year,
Same
This
school
would
year.
be
Same
spring
school
of
year.
26.
27? Okay.
Which would be next year.
So the same budget.
Same budget,
Yes.
I know. No, there's like a kicker. But I think Jen's, is Jen's shorter?
Spring semester, April through the end of the school
Yeah,
year,
so
to
it's
pursue
only-
a self-designed professional study focused on how communities foster mental health and resilience in students. The need for this work is increasingly urgent.
You passed your,
According to
your
CDC,
your
more
eye
than
test.
40% of U.S. high school students reported persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness in recent years. And the prevalence of anxiety problems among U.S. children aged 6 to 11 have also increased, underscoring the growing importance of comprehensive mental health awareness and support within schools. As I enter my 25th year, amazing.
Thank you.
As an educator and 22nd year in our district, I remain deeply committed to strengthening my instructional practice in ways that directly and meaningfully benefit our school community. Okay, I'm gonna let you take over since it's so much larger for you.
During sabbatical, I proposed to
But as a
spend
shady bird.
1 month in Portugal and 1 month in France, researching and observing community-based approaches that promote mental health and emotional resilience among young people. Both countries are recognized for emphasizing balance, community connection, and whole child education, areas that closely align with our district's goals and the needs of our students. Through meetings with educators and engagement with local initiatives, I aim to study practices that cultivate belonging, well-being, and sustainable habits that support both academic and personal growth. My husband, a teacher at Hartford High School, will be conducting a similar sabbatical project through his district. Our daughter, currently in 5th grade, will accompany us and participate in a structured homeschool program during our time abroad. We view this as a meaningful educational opportunity for her to experience diverse cultures, languages, and perspectives firsthand. The purpose of this sabbatical extends beyond personal professional growth. It is grounded in practical application. My goal is to identify culturally transferable strategies that can be adapted to a U.S. public school setting and shared with colleagues. I hope to contribute to a collective understanding of best practices in mindset and mental health education, and to help strengthen a school culture that prioritizes well-being, resilience, belonging, and lifelong skills for both students and staff. I believe this experience will allow me to return with renewed perspective, research-informed strategies, and fresh energy that will positively impact our students, colleagues, and the broader community. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration of this request. I would be pleased to provide any additional information or documentation to support this proposal. So she didn't ask per se for to be paid or.
Okay, and so, but hers would be basically, you would have to find
April, May,
a-
half of June.
well,
The end of April.
really the end of April, basically like May and
After April
June.
break.
Yeah, after April break.
7 weeks.
Yeah, 6 or 7 weeks.
6 or 7 weeks of a long-term sub. So less financial,
A little bit less, yeah. Depending on the long-term subs experience and whatnot.
Got it.
It's a negotiated contract.
Can I ask, this actually is not really related to Ms. Driscoll's proposal, but the structure of 4th and 5th grade next year is going to be 3 teachers?
Frank, you on that? Or are you still working on it?
Yes, I heard the question. I will answer that by what I'd like to see at the 4-5 level next year is to have 4 teachers.
Okay, so this would be sort of, these kids would have consistency
With at least
in
a teacher.
3 teachers, and then the sort of 1 teacher would be gone. Okay.
I guess my question is because I mean a lot of this comes down to money. Do we know if Jen is asking for any money? Whereas
Any salary support?
Any salary support, where Anne's clearly
did.
yep, clearly did. So because to me that makes it
I think once we decide, I mean, if we get another sabbatical request, we can't say, oh, they're asking for money or not. We have to
I
like.
agree.
Right.
I
This is
think
where
it's about
we're
setting
at,
a
and-
precedent. Yeah, I
And
agree.
in the world that we're currently living in, we're cutting teachers and stuff. Like I can't in my mind morally say like, oh yeah, like let's approve any money. We're already paying for benefits, and I mean we're all in professional careers. Me in science, like you're constantly doing CEUs and trying to better yourself, and I fully understand that this is something that is going to be beneficial to both the person and as well as the students that they serve. But I think that like me personally, my opinion on it is that like we don't give any pay. We're paying benefits and because the other
And you're paying sub.
yeah, and we're paying a sub in place of them as part of like, hey, because the other option too is saying like, no, we don't approve this at all. So it's like 100%, 50%, no pay and pay benefits and say yes, or say no, I believe, right? We can say, which I'm not in agreement of, but at the same time, we're paying somebody to fill in your position, and that's kind of got to be like the give and take.
And maintaining the benefits.
And we're maintaining benefits, and you're taking this and we're approving it, but you're doing it at your own expense, basically.
So your feeling is like if I hear you right, you're leaning towards wanting to be able to support sabbaticals for teachers, but doing it in a financially responsible way so that we can do it for others.
Yes.
Acknowledging that even approving a sabbatical, even without pay, already will cost money for substitutes plus their benefits.
Yeah, it's going to
And
be
that's
probably
probably
25%. Going to pay a sub, their benefits plus the benefits of this other person. It's like a FTE and a quarter to a half. So it is costing the school district more to even approve the sabbatical, which should be on the understanding of the teacher and being like, oh, thank you for,
Yeah, it's sort of an earned benefit, but you're not sure that it makes sense to sort of add the ongoing salary support in the absence of.
Yeah, given the current financial situation of school budgets, and I mean, we've been cutting positions and now people for the last 2 years that I've been here, which is, like I said, I can't, say that I wholly agree with like, oh, hey, we're going to cut this position, but it's okay then for us to extend more money, which isn't in our current budget to them.
Yeah.
I've been dwelling on that piece too since our
I
discussion.
think
Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
Yep. She has a hand up.
It is my understanding that I would be receiving the benefits, but that I would be repaying those back at the end from what I read. Is that correct?
I think
No,
in the
Only if you don't come back to the job. I think you have to come back for a certain number of years.
Yeah, you have to come back for a certain number of
Like
years.
at least 2 is what I read,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I'll pull it up.
And if you did not meet that requirement, you would have to pay it back, but.
Yeah, it says in the sabbatical leave, The teacher will continue to receive all benefits except salary to which they are entitled for the duration of the leave. The payment and provision of benefits to a teacher on sabbatical shall be under a loan agreement. The teacher shall submit a written statement to the board agreeing to return the district for at least 2 years of service after the conclusion of the sabbatical leave. If the teacher does not return or does not complete the terms of sabbatical, then they must repay the cost of all benefits. So I think benefits, our hope would be that, you know, again, given that we hope that this is such a beneficial endeavor for the school, is that that would be, that the benefits would be paid at the end of the 2-year.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the other sort of piece of this is, you know, I think increasingly questions get asked of us appropriately by our district voting members about specifics of things happening, teachers going to various CME events, what's being covered, they're wanting to, and I can imagine that this would be, you know, that it is maybe challenging to sort of answer for the salary being covered during such a, you know, difficult financial time. So I think based on hearing from everybody, I would like to make a motion that we approve the sabbaticals as unpaid with benefits included according to the guidelines of the district, that those would be on loan until service completed.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I hope it's a good compromise for.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
So, Hannah, the board chair, I'm happy to write a little approval.
Okay.
And have you sign it?
Sure.
Okay.
Do we say congratulations?
Yeah.
to Miss Stephen? That's exciting.
It's very exciting. I'm sad about both of them.
I know it was bold of the amazing Miss Driscoll when she has 2 board members with rising fourth graders.
I was like,
oh no!
All right.
All right. So I think if there were no other additional issues, we will set the next agenda.
Yep.
For April.
April.
So we've done, so in our board work plan, and you can change
Yep.
if you want, Hannah, we take April,
Yep.
skip April.
Yep.
If your
I'm not crying.
budget hadn't passed, we'd be meeting,
Yep.
but if you.
Yep. I think let's skip April and then we reconvene on May 5th.
May 6th, isn't it?
The 3rd's a Sunday, so.
What calendar you looking at?
It's man, we belong Mays. And so, you know, since you're the board chair now, you will get an email from Lori Brown, who's my admin assistant, about a week before the board meeting
Okay.
with the draft agenda.
Okay.
We usually talk about it. There's
Okay.
nothing crazy in May at this point, but things
Okay.
might come up.
Okay.
And you will say, she'll say, does this look okay? Do you want to change anything, add
Yep.
anything? And just respond,
Okay.
and she does that. So,
Okay.
yeah. And
All right.
she's good about that. And
So-
she will, just so you know, once she gets an email from me with the reorg information, you'll start getting all of your calendar invites for next year's meetings.
Okay.
You know, and she likes to get that done, so.
Okay.
um,
All right.
Yeah,
Are we
thanks,
supposed to-
Stephanie.
Frank, did you have something?
I just want to say thanks for allowing me to take this from home tonight. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
of course.
Yeah.
It's a remote world.
Wait, quick question.
We're just living in it.
Frank, what's
Yeah.
up with the PE teacher that we approved last time? Is he starting? Because my friend
PE
tells me.
teacher?
No.
Oh, yeah, I guess that probably should have been. So I was informed by email that he has declined the position.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have
Okay.
any?
We can't we could do it in executive
Oh,
session.
no, all I was
Oh.
asking was, is like, has it been reposted again?
Yes, immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, if you know anyone.
I'll tell you, PE teachers are hard to come by.
Actually, ours is coming back from maternity leave, so I can ask the long-term sub.
Yeah, please,
Tell her enough.
Okay, great.
All right.
No,
Okay. If there are no other issues, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Yep.
A second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We're
Thank you.
adjourning at 7:25.
7:25.
Woo! Yeah, one more.
Maybe I can be home